Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood-Austin. Welcome back.
I am super excited about this show, and It's not because we're wearing coordinating hoodies that talk about our business. That is not the reason I'm super excited about today's show.
Swag, 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 swag.
I'm excited about today's program because I had some audience participation and some feedback. And there are some things that some of our listeners are listening for in this particular episode.
Okay, awesome.
I like it.
And I'm fired up about a couple things, so this is going to be good.
Well, this is going to be great then. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about in today's show is last week we talked about how for Thanksgiving we were going to host the kids, many of the kids, over to the house. Well, one of our listeners asked for a little recap to see how that went. So, Londa, how was brunch on Thanksgiving for you?
I thought it was awesome.
It was really cool, right?
Yeah. And Chrissy Teigen's biscuits and gravy recipe is hands down, by far, the best biscuits and gravy I have ever eaten in my life.
Wow. And the one thing in the recipe...
That's a hill I will die on.
The one thing in the recipe that I would have said no thank you to made it actually really, really good. And that was the
Don't give it away.
Okay, never mind.
Go look it up.
Maple syrup. That's what I'm saying. That was the secret. I'm not giving away how much. I'm not giving away the recipe. But maple syrup, who knew? In white gravy? No one knew.
Now it's ruined.
Okay, so in all seriousness...
No, everything was great.
Yeah.
The kids who came, not everybody came to it, which is whatever, you know.
Almost everyone...
Your Christmas gifts will reflect your participation in
Almost everyone was able to come, though, and that was great.
Yes, let me tell my joke, though,
okay,
dude.
Go ahead.
I did already. I told it to the camera.
Your Christmas gifts will reflect it.
Yeah, reflect your participation in Thanksgiving. Right. No, not everybody came. So, but most everyone came, participated. They didn't stagger like I expected them to. Like everybody rushed at the same time.
Right.
So that was crazy. I made way too much food as per usual. Some years they eat heavy, some years they eat light, some years they're really about the waffles, some years they're about the other stuff. Like I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is we had a house full of people over several hours, and there was lots of laughing and lots of good times. And I think that's what more can you ask for?
And for me, getting new hearing aids made the event tolerable. And here's what I mean by that. My range of hearing has deteriorated a little bit. One thing I could hear without a doubt every single time was the whiny kid voice. And we have a lot of little grandchildren. I had no problems with that during Thanksgiving and was able to hear the older grandboys exactly like I'd hoped I would. So that was a plus as well.
Yeah.
So
definitely. So
all
it was
told,
I would say 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And that, now that we're in the holiday season and this time of year, often people reflect on their lives and their businesses.
And we've been doing a lot of that.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about what we are grateful for now that we're fully into December. What are you grateful for in 2025?
Oh, a lot of things, but mostly I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this massive economic community.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
me more about that.
I'm very, very grateful to be, when you think about buying or selling a home, right? And you're like, well, the realtors, the lenders, and the buyer and the seller, those are the people that are affected by that, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And you would, unless you stop and think a little bit deeper about it. So, yeah, the buyer and the seller are affected, right?
Mm-hmm.
But think about this, economically speaking, okay? You're putting food on the table of all these people when you buy or sell a home.
Mm-hmm.
The realtors, thank you. You make it possible for us to eat, and we love it. The lenders, obviously, like I
Sure.
mentioned, home inspectors,
Mm-hmm.
service people of all kinds. You have your title and escrow people, but it's not just title and escrow. It's Marcia who sits at the front desk and
Right.
takes your earnest money check and greets us when we go in for your signing.
Sure.
And the person who researches the title. It's the home inspectors and their staff. It's all of the contractors that are involved, which can be extensive.
Sure.
You've got plumbers, electricians, home cleaners, carpet cleaners. Who else?
Septic people.
Yeah. And this is just a very short list of the people that are involved. Stagers, painters. I mean, now think about this to take it a little bit further. All of those people shop and work and live and play in our community.
Right.
Right. And so, I went to visit Lori at Mail by the Mall
Sure.
last week, got my 100+ stamps that I get every month.
She's a delight, by the way.
She's darling. And if you go to Mail by the Mall, you already know. And we do our little monthly check-in because I go and I mail packages and I pick up my stamps for the month so we can send out our postcards to our database, our foundational database. We
Right.
send out these postcards every month. If you don't get them, let me know. I can add you to the list so you too can once a month see our beautiful faces and throw it in the trash like
Or
everyone else.
put it on your fridge. Some people do that.
Sure.
Some people do that.
We know they throw it in the trash. It's okay. You'll catch up with us and then throw it away. It doesn't hurt I throw the one away that I mailed to us too.
I throw away
Anyway.
birthday cards.
So-
I throw all of it away.
So all of those people, though, so I go see Lori, right? And then it's right across the street from Costco.
Right.
So I've supported Lori and her staff, right? And she's a small business. And then I go across the street to Costco, inevitably. I'm just going to look around. I don't just look around. I fill up the cart. I see all the people, including your buddy who works there. Don, what's his name? Chris, maybe, I don't know.
I have a lot of buddies that work at Costco. I've done a lot of loans for that company.
And that's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Pardon.
Chris always says hello to you when you go into Costco, though.
And so we see everybody that we know, and I fill up my cart and I shop for the business and for our home. And it supports hundreds of employees
Sure.
who then in turn work and play and live and shop in our community.
And buy houses and get mortgages and do all the things that people do.
They go see movies. They shop in our restaurants. They go to our grocery stores. And so when you buy or sell a home, you're maybe just thinking like, oh, it's time to upsize, or, oh, you know what? It's really time to downsize, or, whatever prompts your move. But what you're really doing is you're part of this beautiful tapestry of our community.
Right.
And that is what I am most grateful for.
Okay. Well, that's a really well thought out, succinct conversation. And I don't know how to respond to that because I don't have anything that well thought out to talk about. Here's what I will tell you.
I've been thinking about this for a while because I wanted to convey this idea to our clients this year. And so that is part of our little end of year letter that's going out to our clients. So I've been thinking about it and crafting this letter, so it's all fresh in my brain.
Sure.
But it did start with that day that I went to see Lori at Mail by the Mall, and I thought, there's really a lot of lives that are affected with one transaction.
Absolutely.
And, being a part of that fabric that holds our community together economically is really special.
It's kind of like the butterfly effect, right?
Yeah. And that's probably for this year, that idea has probably hit me more this year than ever before.
I like that.
So, yeah, I'm very grateful to this community.
I'm
grateful for putting food on our table.
Sure.
I really am. I'm super grateful too that, I'm filled with gratitude.
Keep going.
I'm really grateful too that we left the community essentially for like 3 years. I mean, we were back and forth, but really we weren't living here full time for 3 years.
Right.
Our businesses were kind of on life support,
Sure.
right? While we did that. And we've been back now for 2 years. The first year I was more focused on coaching and training. This last year, 2025, is my first full year back full-time at real estate. And, our community welcomed me back with open arms and full speed ahead. And it was a record-setting year for us.
Sure.
So I couldn't help but be really overwhelmed with gratitude.
There you go. I like that. I'm grateful for not only our family and you and, all the kids and all the stuff we do as a family. I'm also grateful for the people in my life who have contributed to the quality of my life over the last 2 years that we've been home. And let me be specific.
Tell me more.
I have found a lot of satisfaction and joy in many of the civic organizations that I'm a part of and the service organizations I'm a part of. Probably the most important group to me in my life right now is my little brass ensemble that I'm in with the Kennewick First Presbyterian Church. And the reason I'm involved in that brass ensemble is because of my buddy Bob. Bob has been a friend of mine for, I'm going to say, easy 15 years. He's a musician, he's now a retired music educator, and has been part of my music life for the entire time.
And may I say, one of the kindest humans I've ever known.
Oh, absolutely. One of the kindest people
I was
on the
so
planet.
sad you had a concert recently, and I got caught up talking to somebody after, and I wasn't able to go down and talk to Bob and his lovely wife, Vicky. And I was so sad that when I turned around, I was finally out of this conversation, which was also an awesome conversation. I turned around and they were gone.
Right. From that group, though, I got more friends, like my friend Kyle, who's now going to be a lifelong friend.
Yeah.
He has introduced me to Rotary, which is another service organization.
Which I've also joined and love dearly.
Yep. And if I could summarize what Rotary is, it's all the good stuff about church without having to hear about the dogma involved in church. So all the outreach, all the works without any of the guilt.
Fellowship, the
Absolutely.
care. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you believe you need to make the world a better place, being in an organization like that helps you actually have deliverables that are achievable to do that.
Oh, I like how you just said that.
So I'm loving Rotary. So if any of you out there listening want to come as my guest to my Rotary Club meeting,
No. Come as my guest.
You're welcome. You're welcome to reach out. We'll take you for sure.
Yeah.
So there's that. But then from there, I've also been invited to do the Columbia Basin Community Band. And that band is kind of cool because it's a mix of music educators, local musicians who aren't professionals, some are, some aren't, and students from the community.
Yeah.
All together in one tapestry, as it were.
Yeah.
So I'm able to be a part of that organization as well and play more music. And in 2024, I said for 2025, more music is my goal. I want more music in my life. From there, though, I've also been invited to a group called the Tubadors. And that's a tuba ensemble. And it's a whole bunch of retired music educators who play tuba and or euphonium. And thanks to Bob, I have a euphonium to play. So I'm in that group playing euphonium. And it's been great. And we've made even more friends.
Yeah, which of the groups did we meet Michael and Susan?
That's the Tubadors.
Okay.
And Michael is in the community band as well. But I got to know him from the Tubadors.
I gotcha.
So I'm most grateful for that. In addition, I'm grateful for my racquetball guys.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome. I see them as often as I can. They play regularly Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at Gold's Gym in Richland. A bunch of awesome guys, a couple lenders.
This is going to be a great lead into my next thing I want to talk about.
Yes, a couple lenders are in the group.
We didn't even practice this.
Right. We've got some educators in the group. We've got some scientists in the group. And that has been awesome. Now, that's not all, but from that group spawned my interest in disc golf because James, our son, invited me to play disc golf with him. And when I was talking at racquetball about going to play disc golf, one of my buddies from racquetball, Dave, says to me, I play disc golf. I'd love to come with you and James. And James, by the way, is a heck of a musician. So I'd love to come. He's a scientist and a guitar player. So anyway, that has turned into another whole wing of my social life and my exercise.
Yes.
And then finally, that has introduced me to my friend Chris Ruby, who has I think it's Ruby Soft Photography. I don't know what his photography business is called, but he and his wife have a photography business, and they do real estate photography. And so he's turned into a really good friend, too. So what I'm really thankful for is my family, my friends, my clients, and my friends that I've made because of my involvement in civic organizations.
It sounds like what we're saying is the kind of overarching theme of 2025 for us has been connection.
That is absolutely correct. And it's no wonder.
We didn't rehearse any of this, by the way.
Well, no, this was
amazing. This is an amazing conversation for me. I don't know if anybody else is having an amazing time.
A listener said to me last night when I had a few minutes.
But I'm having a great time.
When I had a few minutes, I ran into one of our listeners and he said to me, I said, hey, is there anything you want us to talk about? Normally we record this before I see you on Tuesdays. Is there anything you'd like to know? And he said, well, as we're getting closer to the holidays, I'd like to hear kind of what you guys are grateful for.
Yeah.
And so that's what this has turned into. And I got to tell you, you said it. Connections have been the overarching theme of 2025. And you said we're setting records in our business.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
And that leads me to an interesting conversation I had last night.
Okay. I was there for this, by the way.
Yes.
I was part of it, but I wasn't the instigator. Go ahead.
Absolutely. You were an important part of it. So here's my thing. If you are in sales, especially, or if you are a human person seeking connection and you go out in public, please stop wearing headphones. Stop wearing headphones, AirPods, whatever, earbuds, whatever you call them. Stop it. Stop it. Our society is becoming starved for connection.
Right.
I saw an interview recently with Dick Van Dyke.
Okay.
Who just turned 100, I think.
He said,
and in excellent physical and mental health.
Yes.
And he said one of his goals in life is to renew the art of conversation.
Okay, now.
So he has these gatherings, these like dinner parties and gatherings, and there's no cell phones. There's no devices. It's about renewing the art of conversation. And I loved that so much because I believe in that. And here are some reasons why. The overarching theme being connection. One thing that I know you want to listen to your podcast, and I know it's me time. I get that. I get it. But what we're missing is a human connection. And especially if you feel lonely or if you feel like that's lacking for you or you're in business, don't wear the headphones when you go out. I'm going to specifically talk about something that happened at the gym. We went to the gym last night. You played racquetball. I went just to sit in the sauna.
Right.
After you were done playing racquetball. I met you there to sit in the sauna. And while in the sauna, I don't even know how it started. I don't know how the conversation started.
Okay, I'll tell you how it started.
Okay, good.
A guy came in and someone had just left the sauna. So I moved over and I reserved a space for you. A guy came in. I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can sit on the right of me, but not the left of me. My wife's about to come in. And he's like, oh, good guy, good guy. I'm glad. Thank you. And then he sits down.
We're not going to do any accents because that wasn't accurate, by the way.
Whatever. And he sits down.
He did have an accent.
He's
from Kazakhstan, but spent a lot of time in Russia, but looks Hispanic. Like it was interesting. Anyway.
part of the tapestry.
Nice guy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever the case, I said that and he says, good guy, or whatever he said. And then when you came in, he immediately spoke to you because when you sat down, he
said he started talking about you have a good man. He saved you a seat.
Right.
And, I was going to sit down, but then he was like, no, this is for my wife. And so that was all. And it kind of broke the ice, I think, of conversation, because if you've ever been in the sauna, it can be a little...
It's like in an elevator normally. People don't like to talk. They look at the ground. They don't talk. They're quiet. But again, I don't mean to take away from the story.
No, go ahead.
If you're going to listen to your podcast when you're in the sauna, use your headphones because
we don't want to hear it.
I don't need to know what your hormone treatment is, miss.
Hey,
I don't need to hear that while you're sitting in there listening to your thing with inspirational music playing. I don't need to know it.
So that's
none of my business.
So that's kind of what broke the ice. Yes. And then he started talking about the benefits of sauna. And then this other gentleman jumped in and started talking about, I just researched some sauna. Have you seen the sauna at Costco? Well, I had some things to say about that sauna at Costco. I said it's a prison sauna because it's so small.
They call it a 2-person, but it's I'm locked in, please let me out sauna.
Here's the point, okay? We spent 25 minutes in conversation.
Yes.
Okay. Roughly. I normally only sauna for 20. I gutted it out because the conversation was so riveting. Here's what happened not very far into the conversation, a minute or two. The guy said something about Lamb Weston and the plant closing in Connell. He said, do you know about that? I said, oh, yeah, we're realtors. Of course we know, because it tanked the real estate economy up there for a little bit.
Right.
Now it's coming back, and I'm very grateful for that. But, and that was it. This is how you tell people who you are and what you do without making it weird.
Right.
Right? It was a natural part of the conversation. I wasn't trying to sell him on the fact that I'm a realtor. I am aware of what happened in Connell because I am a realtor.
And here's why I pay attention.
Yeah. And so that lit a fuse. And those two guys peppered us with questions about the market and the rates and when's the best time to buy. Come to find out, they're both business people. They're both investors. Neither one of them seem particularly loyal to their realtors that have helped them in the past.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they both asked us for help.
Yes. So we got
to go. Their contact information.
We had to go. So this is how it came about. This was great. Good luck in the coming business year, whatever. We just had this really
this has been pleasant and professional.
No, we just had this really good, lively, engaging, and there were other people in there certainly not interested in what we were saying, but we didn't care. And we were talking over other people and different things, but you never know who's listening, by the way.
Well, let me tell you this. There was a young couple that came in and the guy looked annoyed. The girl took off her earbuds and listened to every word spellbound and outwardly laughed out loud at least 4 times during our conversation.
So there you go, because we're funny. Anyway, so then we had to go. You had to get to your next appointment. You'd been in there for like 30 minutes by this time.
Yes.
You were dying.
I'm shooting for 20, and I knew I'd be in for a couple extra because you got there after me.
So we walk out. We're toweling off. The first guy comes out.
He follows us out of the sauna to talk to us more.
Starts asking us questions about this property that's near his property and how do I find out who owns that property?
Right.
I said, well, I can find out for you. And then listen carefully if you're in sales. I said, I can find out for you and we can blah, 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 blah. There's a little pause and I say, so when I get that information, how do you want me to get it to you? This is how you get contact information.
Right.
You now have something of value. How do you want me to get it to you? He goes, oh, well, do you have your phone? Do you have, can I get your number? Oh, yeah, sure. So we exchanged contact information. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the other guy comes out.
Because he doesn't want to be left out.
After saying he was going to sit in there for an hour. He told us he would be in there for an hour.
Right.
He comes out after 32 minutes and goes, hey, so I have a question. And he starts asking us more questions. do you know of any multiplex properties that are for sale? I'm looking to invest.
I'm looking to pay cash.
Right.
And then Harry, the other guy's like, you don't pay cash. Use David for a loan. We're not using last names. So Harry says, don't use a loan. You'd be crazy, or use a loan. You'd be crazy to tie up your money.
That was part of the previous conversation.
Yeah. But,
so anyway, so he asks if he can get our contact information. So we exchange with him.
Mm-hmm.
We leave. I sit in the parking lot and I make some notes on our conversation under both their contact information. I emailed myself a reminder to follow up on the things I promised them I would deliver.
Right.
And then I went home. Like, will it? Okay, and this is a point I want to make because I can hear you already arguing with me.
Well, how's that going to make any money?
You don't know that's going to work out.
Yeah.
You don't know that's going to be anything. You don't know that's going to turn into anything. That might not turn into anything. I know I have an opportunity you don't have. That's what I know.
Right.
I know I make my own opportunities.
That's right.
And I know I made an opportunity. Maybe it doesn't turn into anything. Maybe it turns into something for somebody else.
Right.
Okay. That's okay. I had a client, I showed a house I was introduced to her and showed her a property two weeks ago, maybe ish.
Mm-hmm.
My follow-up wasn't great. I admit it. I followed up once. I typically, my mantra is I follow up until one of us dies.
Right.
I didn't. I got distracted. I didn't follow up. I talked myself out of it, just like you're talking yourself out of talking to strangers in public. I talked myself out of it. I told myself stories, right? No, she'll think you're being pushy. No, don't check in on her. That's weird. She's not one of your kids. You don't need to make sure she's okay because she was so disappointed because she missed out on that house,
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. I talked myself out of it. She's under contract on a house with a different realtor because my follow-up sucked.
Right.
Now, I could be upset about that. Here's what I want to say about that. He's got bills to pay too.
That's right. And he's part of this community.
That's
and it's
right.
going to impact the people at the grocery store. It's going to impact the people at, the title company. It's going to impact, you see what I'm saying?
There's enough for all of us. There's enough for all of us, but I'll be damned if I'm going to miss an opportunity.
That's right.
There you go.
Okay. We did an episode, and we're coming toward the end, and I heard something today on a podcast, and it really struck a chord with me, and I really, really liked it, especially with my music mindset.
Okay.
It was a mother who's also a loan officer and a top producer, and she is a mortgage broker and kind of went out on her own and has a little team that she's built.
Okay.
And she was talking about how work-life balance is a lie.
Hello.
Which we have done entire episodes about here.
I wrote an article 15 years ago for a national magazine on that topic.
What she did say was, it's not a balance. It's a beat and a harmony.
Babe,
they go together.
Have you ever read my article I wrote?
Was it about that?
It's about exactly. It's like she read my article from 15 years ago and then reused it.
I'm going to really make you mad when I tell you the next sentence.
Okay.
She's a mom in a mom's organization, and she found out that if she invited the moms in her organization to be a part of her business, she could grow her business exponentially.
That's how I did my real estate
and
in the beginning.
She has moms from the mom group working part-time in her mortgage business.
I love it.
Doing the things that they're able to do, even though they have less hours available.
I love it.
She says she's got a mom in her mom group with an MBA. And that mom is helping with all of their strategic planning. And she's got a mom in her mom group with a marketing degree.
You need to send this podcast
But
to
she's
me.
sitting at home and she's taking care of kids. But while she's there, she's looking at the stuff on the internet and thinking about how they can improve their internet messaging.
Yeah.
I mean, she said, it's not a work-life balance. It's a melody and it's a beat, and they all have to work together. And when she decided in her life that she needed to stop doing things the way other people did them to feel successful, and started doing them the way it felt natural to her, she was more satisfied with the results by merging the things together, which I loved because that's what we have done in our lives and our business. And she said, that's not to say that I'm not working 40 hours a week, but I'm not working between the hours of 2 and 4 when I'm picking my kids up from school, period.
Right.
And so she's able to find a rhythm in her life.
It's harmony. It's harmony in the imbalance. Life is never in balance. Never, ever. As something is always out of balance. Think about a scale.
Right.
You know, something's always requiring more of you, and this is requiring less of you, or whatever. And so it's about finding that rhythm, that harmony in the imbalance. And music, if you use music as an example, music has rest. Music has upbeat, up tempo. Sometimes it's an upbeat to almost a frenzy, and then they drop the beat. You know what I mean? You think about music, and it is such a great reflection of life. And sometimes you're, running like crazy, and sometimes
if you're in a manic
rest
state, it's a fugue. And if you're not,
you can speak to it better than I can.
Well, I'm just saying it's exactly right. So I thought that was an interesting thing.
I don't know why you didn't send me that podcast. Send me that podcast.
The only reason I didn't send you that podcast is that I saw that podcast this morning while you were still in bed.
Yeah. I
was just up,
night.
And then when you woke up this morning,
I had a middle of night work time.
Yes, you did. You woke up to a message saying I was out playing disc golf, but all you have to do is press play on the coffee maker, and your cup will come right out.
Where were we the other day? And somebody said, "You make her coffee every morning?"
We were at the hearing aid place.
Oh yeah, that's
and the answer is yes, because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love doing things for the people in my life.
Let's do a restaurant review before we say goodbye.
Okay.
The restaurant review that nobody asked to hear. What have you got?
Well, it's funny that you asked that question because another listener asked me to talk about Europa. I have not been to Europa.
Oh, I haven't either.
In Kennewick, but we need to go to Europa in Kennewick.
Okay.
Bob, who went to Europa to say thank you to Steve. Remember the guy who conducted at church when Bob was in the hospital?
Yeah.
He and his wife took Steve and his wife to dinner at Europa to celebrate and say thank you.
Fun.
And Bob says it's quaint. The food is spectacular. It's a mix of Spanish and Italian food. Hence the name Europa.
Okay,
and the owner comes to your table and talks and makes sure you've got enough food. And
nice. Well, let's check it out between now and the next podcast. I will tell you this. My hot take, on the restaurant review nobody asked to hear, is that you can air fry a whole chicken.
That's true.
I always say the restaurant at my house is the best one I've ever eaten at. So I can't, I try to be really careful about my food, and sometimes that $4.99 chicken at Costco, they get me. Sometimes they do, and it tastes so damn good. But I know it's Franken chicken. And if you want to argue with me, we'll do it later. But
and I don't mind Franken chicken for $4.99.
Right. But I took my beautiful, happy farm-grown, non-GMO, organic,
free range,
expensive little chicken. And I did a little Google search. Can you air fry a whole chicken? And as it turns out, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Costco can, because you got to air fry a whole chicken. It's incredible. They're so good. They come out so crispy on the outside.
Little olive oil on the outside.
Juicy on the inside. You can do it however you want. Just Google air fry a whole chicken recipe and you'll have the instructions there. But wow. So I would say the restaurant review nobody asked for is air fried chicken in your house, 10 out of 10.
Okay. And we're going to try Europa. And Bob also let me know that the average ticket per meal, $25 a plate, which is pretty darn low today. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So there
Yep.
you go.
So
Anything
there you
else
go.
you want to add as the closing credits roll?
I would say, just go out and make some connections with people. We're starving for connection as a society, and we need it. We need connection. And don't be afraid of people. Don't isolate so much. Humans are made to connect, so connect.
And if you're afraid to talk to people wherever you go and you're in sales, wear a branded t-shirt, because people will say, hey, what's Sherwood Austin Homes? Or, hey, David, what's Sherwood Austin Mortgage? And that is your opportunity to do your elevator pitch right there, and you didn't even have to try. There you have it, and there it is. For the prettiest girl in the world, Londa Joanne Sherwood Austin, you really look beautiful today, honey.
Thank you.
I'm David Austin, and this has been another edition of The Session with Londa and David. We'll talk to you again next week.